I want you to all start by imagining something for me. Imagine you were in the dining hall or you were in your own apartment or dorm room in your kitchen and you just got home or just sat down and had some food, something like Qdoba, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, anything when you just like went out and got it. Maybe you even cooked and had some leftovers that you didn't want to finish for whatever reason. Most of us would just throw it away without even thinking about it. But what if I told you nearly a third of what we throw away in a year, being food scraps and even things like yard waste, could actually be composted? Now, for those of you who don't know, composting is the process of recycling organic material into decomposed matter, which is called compost. This is a natural, nutrient rich fertilizer that can be used to fortify soil. But how many of us actually compost? Sure, many of us might know what composting is, or at least have a rough idea of it, and know that it's a good thing, it has a lot of benefits. But we don't actually do it as much as we should. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. I want to try to convince you that composting is much more important than we give it credit for, and that more people should be contributing to the effort of composting. And many of us can do it very easily. In fact, here in Moscow, Idaho, a lot of us are able to do it. But let's start from the beginning. Let's start from somewhere maybe most of us can have an idea of composting. Let's start before composting. So what happens when we don't compost? Well, all that food waste and yard waste and stuff like that just goes into landfills, right? There it's broken down by without oxygen and releases methane and a lot of greenhouse gases that contribute to climate change. Now, that's already pretty bad as it is. And landfills are one of the largest sources of methane emissions, at least human-related methane emissions, here in the US. And composting can help to keep that organic waste out of landfills. And we can break it down naturally. That way, it's much better for the environment. But like I said, right now we're not taking advantage of that. For instance, if you actually look back in 2018, we can see that there are 146 million tons of land waste. And about 24% of that was food. Now imagine if we had composted that. That would have reduced about a quarter, potentially, of methane emissions that we produced. But let's talk more about other benefits of composting. And it goes way beyond just emissions, carbon emissions, methane emissions, whatever emissions, right? Compost is one of the best things we can add to our soil. It can improve soil structure. It can retain moisture better. It can reduce the need for chemical fertilizers. It does so much, even boosting microbial life in the soil, which makes the plants healthier and more resilient. Now, here in Idaho, agriculture is a major part of our identity, and it's such a big part that we can't ignore it. We need to prioritize agriculture in Idaho, and we need to make sure we're doing it efficiently and in the best way possible. Now, compost can help crops grow better for farmers, and with way fewer chemicals, meaning it saves a lot of money. For instance, in Middlebury College, they have saved thousands of dollars by composting food instead of just sending it to landfills. They have dedicated bins that are meant for students to go throw away their food at. And then they have people go around and pick up those trash bins and take them out to these composting sites. Now think about that. You were focused on the idea that we're actually composting that and we're doing something with that food. But notice I said that people have to go around and pick that up. So composting doesn't just have economic or environmental benefits, but also has economical benefits. It creates jobs. It helps more people have more jobs, and we're able to have more job security even. So there's a lot of economical benefits as well to composting. But in recent years, composting programs have created twice as many jobs per ton of waste compared to traditional landfilling. And it's not just environmental solutions, it's a practical one based on that. But in recent years, momentum around composting has gone up recently. For instance, between 2021 and 2023, the number of residential food waste collection programs in the US country have increased by 47%. And even right here in Moscow, there are a ton of composting options available. For instance, Leda County Waste Management has been a local drop-off location for composting. And if you live on campus, well, there's a bunch of backyard composting ways you could do it. For instance, you can simply just have a separate trash bin that you throw your compost in, or your food and other things that can be composted in. You can have a separate little thing of Tupperware that's meant for that. There's so many ways to go about it, and it's so easy, honestly. It just takes that effort to be able to get there for it. So now you might be wondering, How do I actually do it? Well, like I said, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is just separate your trash. And you don't have to dive in there and separate it. You don't have to go into your trash can right now and just take out the things that can't be composted and just throw it in a new bag. Just start from new. The next time you would throw something away, think about what you're throwing away. Think about what is your trash and what can be composted. There's plenty of websites and information online to tell you what can be composted. So if you have a question about it, ask for it. The more people that ask questions about this, the more we can change the systems to have more composting, to make this more serious and have it be more out there. The more eyes that are on this, the more people actually do this. Thank you.